Hello, I'm your host, Tricia Ziemer. This is A House Around the Corner, and I'm here with Frank Devlin, who is the manager of the Meadows Heights Learning Shop. Welcome, Frank.
Great to be here today.
Now, I understand one of your very special employees, Amy Bailee, is a senior tutor for you, as well as your curriculum coordinator, and she has done this even though she's legally blind.
That's very true, but it's interesting with Amy, she doesn't see her disability as something which will hinder her, but she sees it as a strength where she can challenge herself and to really inspire others she works with.
And she's inspired them so much that she has a 90% attendance rate in her courses.
In actual fact, I was only going for the data the other day and it's nearly 95%, which is unheard of in my organisation.
And she achieves this high quality through a set of innovations, doesn't she?
She uses technologies or computer technologies to the utmost level, which you'll see later on during the show.
And consequently, she's won an award.
Yes, last year she won the Learn Local Practitioners Award, which was a great inspiration to all teachers in our organisation and to other teachers in Victoria.
Congratulations to Amy and your centre. Let's join Amy and her inspired students.
Bailee. I am a tutor or trainer at Meadows Heights Learning Shop. I teach the education support package, which is Certificate 3, 4 and Diploma of Education Support, which is people who wish to be or who are already working as teachers' aides or integration aides in schools. And we really strongly focus in the Certificate 4 on what I think is often the key area for education support workers, which is knowledge of disability and how to work or strategically cater for students with disabilities in schools. I was born with a slight vision impairment, which means that when I was younger I could see quite a bit. From the age I was about 6 to 16, I probably had 2 or 3 operations a year related to my vision. When I was 16 I had several retinal detachments, which was fairly major and has left me what's categorised as functionally blind, which means that I don't tend to read print, mostly vernicise. I use a cane to get around when I'm outside anyway, and I tend to function mostly in the way that someone who can't see at all would. Look, when I started my teaching career, it was a big concern to me. I had to stop and think, how could I actually teach as a vision impaired or blind person? And I definitely spent a lot of soul-searching time sort of looking at that and thinking, well, what's practical? Is it possible? And for me, mostly, would it actually put my students at a disadvantage? Because that matters to me. And, the more I looked into it, the more you start to see the solutions, not the problem. Finding ways around it. And look, these days I forget I can't see. My students forget I can't see, and class just goes on as normal. We only have one particular rule in my class, and that's that you don't put your hand up. Because I don't notice for a long time, and I always tell them their arms are going to fall off before I notice.
My name's Felicity Saddington.
And I'm Simone Wade. We're studying at Meadows Heights, studying Certificate 4 in Education Support. Well, it took a little while to figure out that Amy was actually vision impaired because she's so able.
I just find she's one of us. I don't even notice she's having vision impairment. She's just blends in.
I don't think I've ever had any negative reactions in my classroom, but I probably contrive it a little bit so that I don't. On my first day of all of my classes, particularly Certificate 3s, we start class, and visually, I suppose there's no particular signs that tell everyone I can't see. It's not. Sometimes I think it's written across my forehead and people should just know, but it turns out it's not. So I start my class, students come in, I talk to them, we go through things, I go over what's going to happen in the course, how it works, and we're probably an hour into the course before I do my proper introductions and say, this is who I am, this is what's going on, and by the way, I can't see. And having done that way, I think most of my classes have gone well because they've already sort of got over it, that things are fine. and it doesn't tend to distract them too much, then, you know, there's a few minutes of, oh, okay, what are you telling us, and what does this mean, and all of the rest. But besides that, it's sort of like, well, the last hour's gone fine, so let's just keep going. Look, in the classroom, there's a couple of bits of technology that I have to use to, I suppose, to do my job effectively. I rely heavily on computers. I use a computer with a screen reading software called JAWS for Windows, which allows me to access pretty much anything on the computer via speech output.
Most of my students usually can't work out how I can be vision impaired, but my writing is so little, it upsets them. That's when we have to go over again the fact that I'm listening to it, I'm not reading the size 8, whatever font is on there.
Besides her approach to giving us goals and student of the week and having that open class method, class discussion, I think that she really cares, and that's what I find that I come back to her classes for.
But word of mouth in Amy's courses has just spread like wildfire because of what a great teacher she is. So everybody's coming back and signing up for her diploma course, which will be starting very soon. So she's a brilliant teacher, and we highly recommend her to anyone that asks us.
The Outstanding Practitioner Award goes to Amy Bailee.
Look, I was very proud about it because it is really, I suppose, an honour to be recognised for teaching, because again, it's what I want to do with my life. I mean, for starters, I think the last statistics were about 69% of people who are blind or vision impaired are unemployed or underemployed. So just working in general is a start when it comes to disability. I was really lucky to end up doing something that I'm passionate about. This is what I want to do regardless of disability.
Learn Local provides quality education and training to people of all ages and backgrounds and has hundreds of locations across regional Victoria.
Learn Local gave me the opportunity to complete my schooling and get the job I wanted.
I never completed school, but I got the training I needed to get a great job.
At Learn Local, I did the course I wanted to change my career.
Learn Local, flexible, friendly and just around the corner. Take your next step with us. Authorised by the Victorian Government, Melbourne.